Being 9:30, I'll call this meeting to order. All rise, Pledge of Allegiance, moment of silence. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence. All righty, to it we go. Do I have the right one? Okay. Looks like starting with department heads is listed on here.
What?
Do I have?
Agenda item 1, or 3B, 3A.
Oh, wait. Okay, I'm sorry. I should have probably put on my glasses. Request approval of reclassification for Chelsea King, District Attorney.
So, seeing the DA is busy with something else, Chelsea King has her responsibilities have shifted really from legal support specialist 2 to legal support specialist 3, and so this reclass is being sought because she's taking on more elevated responsibilities and duties as outlined in the legal support specialist 3 job description. And so with that, I would move that the board approve and sign payroll resolution 26-04-040L reclassifying Chelsea King to legal support specialist 3 effective May 1st, 2026.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion?
Always want to support the district attorney's office.
Yep. Public. Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next one. Request approval of Community Wildfire Protection Plan. Good morning.
Good morning. As most of you know, our emergency management team has been working very diligently on, along with some federal funding, to develop our wildfire plan. We just finished up. We finished up public comment. Yeah.
Well, we finished up public comment. And so Commissioner Taylor has been on the committee we've worked on this for a little over a year and a half. We've reached out to every business and organization we thought that would be interested. We posted surveys to get input on it. And, the basic purpose of this is as we, the public, move into our forest lands, it's identifying areas that we might need to improve and programs we might want to start, and being listed in the Community Wildfire Protection Plan, then it opens up other funding to us for the future. I also wanted to note on this, our dedication page for this year is honoring the 3 firefighters that died in Coos Bay in November 25th of 2002, Captain Randy Carpenter, Jeff Commons, and Chuck Hanners. They were lost fighting a commercial fire. And I'm requesting your approval and happy to answer any questions. You may have noted that our treasurer did actually read the 254 pages of this.
Which I commend her on.
And I hope you all did as well.
So Debbie,
I'm glad she started reading.
Debbie, I'm sorry, but I wasn't totally clear on the linkage to the Coos Bay firefighters and the wildfire protection plan. What's the linkage?
Just evidence of our need to have more firefighters and better equipment and training.
I think that oftentimes we view the fire service as separate entities between wildfire and our city, but anymore it's everybody that's going to these things,
Right.
and
Right.
all the apparatus is going out to wildland fires at need. So.
Right. Let me rephrase my question. I'm curious to know, is there, I mean, you mentioned that as part of this agenda item is, I mean,
Oh,
'cause
just, it's the dedication plan, page in the plan.
oh, okay, there, okay, got it.
That was Debonese, I need you to follow.
Okay, very good. Well, with that then, Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve and sign the Coos County Community Wildfire Protection Plan.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. You'll just note the consultant on page 27 where they list the cities, they forgot Lakeside.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure it was included in the data, but they didn't list them in our list of cities.
Tell them if they enact the city tax levy will be included.
Maybe that's why they got missed. They looked at the financials. Anything
I will
else?
take care of that.
Appreciate it.
I'd like to express appreciation for all the work that everyone involved with this has done, and to anyone who's read it all as well.
It was good reading.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a memorial to those firefighters across the street from City Hall in Coos Bay. Further community, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have request approval to purchase fire alarm system for Owen Building and adopt sole source findings, maintenance.
Good morning.
How do you do,
Morning,
Kyla? That's what you get.
So, as you know, we went through the fire marshal through all of our buildings. One of the things that was noted is that we don't have a fire alarm system in this building. So I was looking at our major R&I, which normally I budget for replacement of door locks, HVAC systems. Well, we're coming to the end of the fiscal year. I have enough money in my line item to cover the fire alarm system for this building. So would like the approval to move forward with the quote from CNS. And I went with CNS because they currently have and monitor both of our systems in juvenile building and at the courthouse. So this would keep us all on the same monitoring system. They do our yearly inspections as well as our fire extinguisher inspections. So the grand total cost came in at $25,074.74. And that would take care of removing the old fire alarm box that we have in the HR office and then replacing it with a new system, and the horn strobes, fire smoke detectors.
So you don't think that our noise cans are adequate fire alarm system?
The fire marshals did have a good laugh at those.
Uh-huh. They are loud
They are allowed.
if you can get to them.
Yeah, and I don't know who wants to volunteer to run around the buildings.
Mr. Chair, move to approve the sole source procurement and authorize facilities and maintenance to sign the contract with CNS Fire Safe Services LLC for installing and monitoring of the Siemens addressable fire alarm system in this very building, the Owen Building.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion.
It seems like a fairly significant investment, but of course, I know we're all pleased to hear that you have the money still in your budget left over to do this. That means you've managed things really well. We appreciate that, and $25,000 in comparison to the value of the lives in this building is nothing.
Well, that's what I kind of figured, and like I said, I mean, we're coming to the end of the year anyway, and I figured this would be a great use of that money. And it's a one-time, so we won't have to do this, obviously again, hopefully.
Yeah.
Alrighty, any further? Sean?
I would be happy to volunteer to scream in a high-pitched voice fire in any building designated by the board.
Oh, do you have a high-pitched scream?
Would you like to hear it?
Maybe later, Captain.
Is it going to come with one of those challenge coins that the strongest steel is forged in the fire of the dumpster?
We can't have dumpsters fires anymore. Our new dumpster is plastic.
Yeah, codes will get mad at us.
They got rid
Alrighty.
of our metal one.
Anything else? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Kyla.
Thank you, Kyla.
And request approval to renew Cisco Duo license, IT. Hi, Darius.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
So this is our annual renewal for Cisco Duo multi-factor authentication. Just as a refresher, we'll use this to as a challenge when you log into your workstation or your email remotely. We also use it on the servers and remote access to the network. This is a key tool in our arsenal to help prevent any hackers or threat actors from getting on. One of the big things about this is if for some reason a machine is compromised, it prevents lateral access throughout the network. So if for some reason they were able to access a machine, they would not be able to get onto other machines in our network. So it's really key that we keep this. The cost of this will be split. This covers both the county and Coos Health and Wellness.
Cool. We have a motion.
Move to approve the renewal of Cisco Duo licenses in the amount of $11,182.50.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. We've seen what happens in other cities and counties when you don't have secure systems. It is a mess.
I'm amazed at how fast the authentication transmits through the system and
Really
back.
does.
I mean, it's like,
It
Wow.
really is. I don't know how they get it to react so quickly.
it's like a Bluetooth connection, not like an internet connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is one of the industry leaders in terms of its performance and also cost. So yeah, it's a good partnership.
Good product.
Yeah.
All righty. From the public? Any further? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And next one, request approval to purchase SQL server licenses.
Yeah, so our Helion and our Helion software, the manufacturer let us know that they're no longer supporting the database software that we're currently using, and so this is just upgrading to the latest version. We have the money in our budget to cover it, so.
Righty.
I move we approve purchase of SQL server licenses from SHI.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion.
I did neglect to mention that this is covered under one of the state of Oregon purchasing plans.
Nice. From the public. Oh, nobody wants to talk about IT.
I don't blame them.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. It's one of those classics. If it works, why do we need IT? If it's broken, why do we have IT?
Exactly.
All right.
Yes, he does.
Do you want to do that now?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do your late agenda item.
All right. Yeah, I picked them all up. Okay. So this one is a kind of an end of the year purchase. We haven't needed to use any of our hardware budget this year, so we had planned on replacing switches throughout the building that support the users. Some of these have been here longer than I have, so I'm glad we're able to budget this and get it in. The average lifespan of these is about 4 to 5 years, so this will put us in good shape. This is almost everything in the network except for a couple I've done in the last few years, so this will put us in good shape for the next 4 to 5 years.
Mr. Chair, move to approve the purchase of switches in the amount of $31,418.24.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion.
We've been hearing about the impending disastrous failure of switches for several years now, and I'm glad to hear that you've got the means to get them replaced.
Yeah, me too.
Switches are an interesting but critical thing. Public. Why you gotta be so boring, Darius?
It's just a gift I have.
Excellent.
Or a talent. Depending on how you-
We like boring. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Darius.
We do have two more late agenda items.
3 more.
Well, that was one of them, was the Cisco.
No, there's a
late.
late also.
Oh, a late?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do the normal lates first. Let's see. We have one from Colton. Approval to sign a resignation agreement.
Yeah. This is a request for the Board of Commissioners to approve and authorize the board chair to sign a resignation agreement with Mike Rowley as presented to become effective at close of business on May 14th. We're also requesting that the board approve Caroline as the county's HR manager to post and advertise for the soon-to-be vacant Coos Health and Wellness Director position.
And in this, do we need to approve the interim as well, or is that?
That's sort of your prerogative. I mean,
Internal.
Mr. Rowley has a statutory right, a federal statutory right to revoke his signature on this for up to a week. So
Okay. A week after the 14th?
a week from signature.
Okay.
So anyway, the question is for you guys to, I mean, you could have that conversation now about who should serve as interim director while we're recruiting for this position, or we could wait until next week. I know Eric is out this week, and so I think he may want to make some recommendations on that. So
Okay. He already made a recommendation to me.
Okay.
But
Well, and based on
I know
the,
staff are concerned, so I think a public statement might help them be at ease a little more.
about the interim, Or-
Not about the interim, but they're looking for clear guidance. They're
Who's they?
different staff members at Coos Health.
you could always, have a conversation now about who the interim director should be, and say, this person will serve as interim director in the event Mike resigns. Right? I think at this point we can only say he intends to resign.
Yes.
or we could just say, barring any retraction of
Yeah.
his statement, that we can just let interim directorship follow its current course without any intervention or comment.
I think that works.
I do think we need something from y'all to designate an interim director, because I think right now what we have is sort of a chain of command where Eric has designated Tim to serve in his stead. But once Eric is gone,
Yeah.
someone's going to need to be interim director formally. So
All right. And when will Eric be available for a work session on that?
next week,
Okay.
Okay. All righty.
Tim, is he? You're right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Mr. Chair, move to approve and have you sign the resignation agreement for Mike Rowley with an effective date of close of business, May 14th, 2026, and approve posting and filling the position under the county's HR department.
Second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion?
I would just comment that I've always had positive interactions with Mike Rowley, and always found him to be exceptionally helpful to the general fund departments through a number of different strategies and mechanisms that he's creatively come up with, and I've always appreciated him as a person and as a colleague, and we'll miss him.
Believe he'll carry on to do well.
And I would second those comments. Think the very same way about Mike.
All righty. Public comment? This one's kind of iffy, but
I should be clear also, in approving in the posting and filling of the position, obviously none of that will take place until May 14th. So, but we want to get a lead on that, and I think the job description could need to be updated. It's been a while, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds right. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Then we had requested action, approve MOU with the Coquille Indian Tribe and approve letter of support.
Yeah, so the county and the Coquille Indian Tribe are looking to enter into an MOU regarding the tribe's proposed management of Coos Bay Wagon Road lands through the Bureau of Indian Affairs. The MOU would call for cooperation on the federal legislation, specifically a letter of support from the county, and would also call for development of a management agreement between the county and the tribe.
Right. That being the co-management agreement we've been discussing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I move that we approve an MOU with the Coquille Indian Tribe and approve a letter of support regarding required legislation.
Second,
Motion and a second. Discussion?
possibly. Just reviewing this again.
Okay. John, anything?
Let's let the public discuss this first and then
Okay.
respond to their concerns
It's a
and
good idea.
questions. I think that would be
All right.
a fairer
Let me-
way.
Get my
We obviously
timer.
have.
Well, yeah, this is a big one. Yep, I see you, Phil. If you want to come to the mic. And it is 2 minutes for this section.
2 minutes?
Yep.
That won't even get me started.
Good morning,
Good morning,
guys. My name's Phil Thompson, Coos Bay. I'm glad our attorney made it a little plainer, because if you read this, what you got on the agenda, it don't even tell you nothing except you're going to enter an agreement with the tribe. Didn't say what for or anything, but you know, I talked to Val Hoyle. You was at when I talked to her at the meeting. She's promised me, she said, there will be no legislation until after the people of Coos County has a say. I haven't heard of any kind of meeting with the tribe or the county. Now, somebody somewhere is not following what they say, and I've said it too many times to go over it too, but the people of Coos County before has said they do not want to turn the land over to the tribe. I know that you're saying that they're going to manage it. How many years? How long? What about the other part of the land that goes on the Douglas County side? Is the Cow Creek tribe going to get that? You got a lot of stuff that needs to be ironed out, and you shouldn't be taking a vote on this till you have some kind of hearing. I thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty, go for it. 2 minutes. Introduce yourself.
Thank you. I'll get right with the program here.
John,
If I
need your
talk too loud,
name.
if I talk too loud,
John.
go like this.
Name.
John Brimhall.
Thank you. Location. I know your hearing's bad, or I wouldn't yell at you. I'm sorry.
What did you just ask me?
Your location? Where do you?
Myrtle Point.
Thank you.
Powers area
All right,
between.
Rodney.
Now,
Carry on.
okay. Please fasten your seatbelts. We are expecting mild to extreme turbulence on this joint venture here. Now, I'm not here for me. I'm fast approaching the end of my life, and I realize that. I'm here for the good people of Coos County that have asked me to speak in their behalf because, number one, they're busy with their lives. Number two, they're intimidated. They won't get up like me because I'm not afraid of anything except not doing what the good Lord expects me to do. And I'm extremely afraid of people that try to intimidate other people. Now, in the last few months, I've experienced more people suffering in Coos County than I've ever experienced in all my worldly travels, ever. Old people that can't hardly afford to feed them.
1 minute left.
What?
1 minute left. Just giving you a warning. You have 1 minute left. I was just letting you know.
Are you kidding? Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Here, can I approach?
Yep.
This is why we can't get a stinking deputy to help people with property crimes, threats, the damn queerer than Patty's pig threatening us, kicking us out of meetings like the drag queen meeting that I was kicked out of, saying that it was a private event. I was trespassed the 14th February.
I know he doesn't.
And you know what I told the security guard? No, you cannot trespass me legally, violation of my civil rights, simply because I was here the 1st of February or thereabouts when
Hey,
you
John?
voted. You voted
John,
to give $20
can you
to
hear
Cooch
me?
Health and Will, and I can prove all this.
Okay. One, this was supposed to be about the timber agreement. You might not have heard that.
About the what?
Are you okay if we do your public comment right now? This was supposed to be about the timber agreement with the Coquell.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
I'll
and-
give you one more
but-
minute if you want to do your
But no,
public comment
we-
now.
As far as that goes, tell you, I'll finish this up real quick. This is a formality, one step in the step of justice ahead. There's a certain thing going on in Coos County right now, and the Justice Department said, before we go, State of Oregon Justice Department, before we go forward farther, you turn this over to the district attorney's office, and then if they don't do anything, and this is a separate matter, this is a matter, I'm going to bring it up right now because you guys may want to hear what I have to say before it goes public. You guys are given every chance to do the right thing. If you don't do the right thing, then this is going to go to the highest level it can possibly go. I was not only trespassed before I could get through the door there at
John?
Pony Village.
John, we've hit the 3 o'clock,
Okay, okay.
or 3 minutes, sorry.
Okay, go ahead and cry, you guys all cry about the loss of timber revenue, and then you go give the timber to the natives.
What?
You guys don't need money, you need two
Okay. John,
freaking brain cells.
you hit
No,
your time.
and by the
Please
way-
take your seat or you will be assisted.
Pardon me?
You need to take your seat. You've used your time. Can you hear?
Okay,
Thank you.
I forewarned you,
Yep.
there's a storm a-coming.
All righty. Who else do we have? There.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is David Jennings. I live here in
Morning.
Coquille. Regarding the agreement with the tribe, you know, the agenda item really doesn't describe what this is about. And I think that there needs to be a lot more transparency and information about this. I myself have a number of questions. I know we've heard about this for years, but at the same time, there's just a lot of things I think need to be talked about, and there's a lot of things that need to be known, and I sure don't know them. So this isn't, to my mind, a really good way to start because the agenda item just doesn't really describe what the hell this is about. So hopefully, regardless of what you do today, somewhere down the road, that there's going to be information that'll be more extensive, and at the same time, it'll give the public not only a chance to express their opinions, but to ask questions about it. I know I have a number of questions, and as you proceed down this road, hopefully it'll become more transparent, and more able to basically ask questions and find out information.
Are you talking about the agenda item title? Because the description describes it as an MOU regarding proposed management of the Coos Bay Wagon Road lands.
Well, it does in the thing that's in the packet, but the agenda item itself doesn't really describe it. And there's other information like that I think needs to become available at some point, and I'm just concerned that it might not, given the brevity not only of just the agenda item, but even the packet information itself doesn't really give an awful lot of information about it.
We could let him.
So,
As I read this, what we're doing is telling the public that we are in the process of developing an MOU, and that we also are wanting to approve a letter that has been prepared to Val Hoyle to present legislation to provide for the transfer of management from BLM to the Bureau of Indian Affairs for the Coos Bay Wagon Road lands.
It could be informative for the public if we read that letter real quick. I'm happy to do that if we would like.
Yeah, that's true. And I just want to add on to Commissioner Sweet's comments that the legislative, the window to have any impact on that legislative process is closing, I mean, rapidly for the year. So that's why this is pretty timely, but anyway.
If you want to read it too.
Sure, I'll read it. Representative Val Hoyle, the purpose of this letter is to confirm Coos County's interest in legislation that will transfer the management of some 60,000 acres of the Coos Bay Wagon Road lands from the Bureau of Land Management to the Coquille Indian Tribe through the Bureau of Indian Affairs. The county and tribe are committed to entering into a management agreement that will govern the tribe's management of the forest, one that will set reasonable management costs and address future harvest goals. The intent is more memorialized in the attached Memorandum of Understanding from May 5th, 2026. The parties understand that time is of the essence to introduce this legislation and will finalize the terms of this agreement while the legislative process plays out. We share the tribe's interest in local management of the lands, creation of family wage jobs, added raw materials for manufacture of housing supplies, and revenue for crucial public services. Make no mistake, a healthy and balanced partnership with the tribe will benefit each one of the county's 65,000 residents. Sincerely, the three of us.
well, thank you for the information. I think there needs to be a lot more information than that. I mean, for one thing, I'd like to know under what conditions, if any, the agreement can be terminated and details like that. And I realize that you're pressed for time, but at the same time, I think the public has a right to have a good deal more information that's been presented so far. So again, I would encourage more transparency and possibility also of allowing people to express their opposition if they're so inclined. But anyway, that's up to you. You're in charge. Thank you for listening.
I appreciate your concerns.
Thank you,
Bolton,
David.
Are you at liberty to, or are we far enough along with the MOU to talk about that?
And I had a chance to read the bill itself, so I don't know if you received it or not. So
The bill?
the bill.
Yeah, we've had a chance to provide substantive input on what that bill looks like and,
Okay.
and are happy with how that bill will impact the county. As for the agreement, we're in the process of working on that and understand concerns about the term of that agreement. We'd like to see an agreement in perpetuity to govern their management of the tribe of this federal forest. So, but yeah, I think right now it's as you put it, Rod. It's just about the end of the year, the end of the congressional session. So there's sort of a now or never situation here to at least get the bill introduced and then work on the exact terms of that agreement in the next couple months.
And the bill itself is more expensive than just Coos County, as I read it.
I believe it pertains only to the Coquille watershed,
Okay.
which is there a portion of that in Douglas County? Or I think that's
There is.
okay. Yeah.
The wagon road extends into Douglas.
So it's their management would be within the watershed. So
Okay.
whatever the contours of that are, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? And I saw in there opportunities for a 60-day public comment period when decisions are made.
Yeah,
Federal
so,
government.
yeah, the tribe's management is subject to, review and approval by the U.S. government. So, I mean, they have to get their plan approved, just like BLM has to get their plans approved. It's just a different bureau that is approving it. So there's still, it's important to note that this is not just a straight transfer to the tribe and it becomes tribal property. This is federal land now, and it will be federal land if this transfer happens. It's just going to be overseen by a different bureau of the Department of the Interior. So, and there's still opportunities for public input and all that.
Could I go ahead and talk about some of the, correct me if I misstate anything, some of the premises behind this change of management of the Coos Bay Wagon Road lands?
Sense to me.
Excuse me, sir, let me do this. I think it'll lend to some of the understanding and as we go. Oh, hi, Don. Wonder where you were. First, there's a lot of things going on with federal timber. Most of them are happening because President Trump issued an executive order directing the timber management organizations, federal organizations, to increase harvest. And he recommended in doing that they utilize native tribes. What we're talking about here is that management of the Coos Bay Wagon Road lands would change from the BLM to the Coquille tribe via the Bureau of Indian Affairs. There's been a lot of concern and discussion over the decades. If the tribes could do this, why not the county? We've tried to no avail. It's an easier push to move the Wagon Road lands from the BLM, which is part of the Department of Interior, to the BIA, which is also part of the Department of Interior, than it is to give the counties, I don't know what that would require, the management rights. What we get currently from the Wagon Road lands is not really a share of the harvest revenues, but in a agreement, or federal legislation that's different than that pertains to the O&C railroad lands. The county gets not a revenue share, but payments in lieu of taxes. And those payments are to be calculated the same way property taxes are calculated on private timberlands of similar nature in the same area. What we currently get from the Wagon Road lands in terms of payments in lieu of taxes is about $300,000 a year. That will not go on forever and ever. Under the current management plan that the BLM has regarding the Wagon Road lands, their management goal is to convert that property to the greatest extent possible to old growth type status as quickly as possible. And to do that, most of their harvest is a thinning harvest. We're not talking about the type of thinning we do at the county forest where we thin little tiny trees that are crowding each other out. They're thinning big trees so that they remove the competition for nutrients and sun from nearby big trees, so the ones that aren't cut will achieve old growth type status in terms of size and all that sooner rather than later. When that happens, there's likely to be very little, if any, harvest from the Coos Bay Wagon Road lands. And when there's no harvest from the Coos Bay Wagon Road lands, there is no money for payment of the payments in lieu of taxes that we now get. So that is threatened to go away over time. When that would happen, I don't know, but Mr. Gurney is pretty familiar with those lands, and I think he could give us very sound information about how much of the 60,000 acres has currently been thinned. And once thinned, probably no more harvest ever, at least under current management plans. The proposal the tribe has made to us would give us 50%, give the county 50% of the profits from harvest of those wagon road lands. They expect that to amount to somewhere between $2 and $3 million a year to the county, and the same to the tribes. The contract that we are working on will be designed to protect that to the greatest extent possible. There will be an interim period while the property is being transferred and a new management plan developed by the tribe, when they probably won't be harvest. That could happen for a couple of years. During that period of time, the tribe has guaranteed they'll not be taking money in from the land. There'll just be money going out. But they have guaranteed us during that time that we will receive a minimum of $600,000 a year versus the $300,000 that we now get in payments in lieu of taxes. A question I'm often asked is, why not just roll these lands into the O&C lands, which the BLM is trying to come up with a plan that would allow increased harvest there and considerable benefit to the counties. In my mind, the reason to not do that is, number one, it would be a very difficult piece of legislation, I think, to get done. But number two, I would expect that once President Trump is out of office, that there will be great pressure is bought to take the O&C lands back to current levels of harvest, which give us relatively little money compared to what is proposed. This, by transferring these lands to the tribe, letting them management, we can avoid being part of that transaction. We'd have further diversification of our revenue sources. And I have to tell you, $2.5 million a year, $2 to $3 million a year versus the $300,000 we now get looks pretty attractive. On top of that, it will bring local jobs. On top of that, the tribe has assured us that the lands will be kept open to the public. That is not the case with BLM, to the best of my knowledge. They have a lot of road closures up there. I think that pretty much going. Have I missed something, Colton, of significance?
No, the one thing I always emphasize on this is what we're really talking about is a change in the formula that the county receives revenue off of the forest. And we're going from that payment in lieu of taxes, which pays us a very small amount because we're getting the money we would get if it was owned by a federal by a timber
company.
operator. Yeah, and they get a very nice deal under the state tax code, and so the payment we get is very small. We're moving from that to a 50-50 share of the proceeds off of the forest. So even if the tribe were to harvest as much as BLM, and I think everyone agrees, most people agree BLM is not harvesting a lot, but let's just say the tribe did exactly the same amount as BLM, we would still see a significant increase in the revenue off of the forest, just because we're changing how we get paid from this dinky tax payment to a split of the harvest proceeds. Now, the reality is, the tribe has said repeatedly that they intend to harvest more than BLM. So you have that on top of it. But I think the detail that often gets lost in this is that it has much to do with how we're changing how we get paid as how the forest is managed.
I would add one thing. Thank you. That was important. I would add one more thing, and that is that regardless of who ends up managing the Wagon Road lands, they would first need to put into place a forest management plan. The tribe already has a forest management plan under the Bureau of Indian Affairs for a significant acreage that they currently own and manage and harvest here in the county. So developing or adding the Wagon Road lands to that management plan that's already exists and already approved is a relatively easy transaction. For us to start from scratch and have to weather protest upon protest upon protest from those interests that don't believe in harvest would be a monumental task, one that we probably could not afford. So another benefit of having the tribe manage those lands. And I think that pretty much concludes my justification for going ahead with this process. It's based on local management, local jobs, and much, much, much needed increase in county funding. I'm done.
Okay. More public comments.
This gentleman had his hand up.
Yeah, up to the mic, introduce yourself and location, please. 2 minutes.
My name is Dwayne Wismith. I've logged for 20 years. My initial question was, how did the railroad initially get inaugurated? Was it by 3C camps? Was it historical railroad? Was it rail irons? Did we have...
Yeah, well, it wasn't. It doesn't have anything to do with a railroad. The Coos Bay Wagon Road lands were established by the U.S. government in order to build a wagon trail road from the valley, from Roseburg out to the Coos Bay water port.
So that was back when they made the 3C camps for...
No,
You're thinking of the CCC?
3C was in the
Community Corps of...
was in the 20th century. The establishment of the wagon road was actually in the 19th century.
Oh, yeah. My second question was, are you talking the Douglas County end of the old wagon road?
We have no say over the Douglas County aspect or portion of the wagon road lands. That's between Douglas County and the BLM.
I just want to bring attention to Port Orford, just where Glendale and Port Orford, when they did that clear cutting on the road right there, it blew down all the rest of the trees, and that's not quite as steep as the degree of angle on the ground as that.
Would you say that again, please, and speak into the phone, like I can understand you.
The steepness of the degree of land
Right, I understand.
and the size of the timber
I understand that.
When you take those trees out, all the smaller ones get blown over because those ones have blocked the wind. In theory, I'm just bringing that up, but
What does that have to do with this?
Your
Make
con-
my connection. Make your connection for me.
my connection is if you go up there and you blow down all the big trees, or if the Indians do or whatever, when's it going to be planted? Is it going to be planted right after it gets felled? Because your first harvest, you're 15 years behind.
The management the tribe currently does is not, the BLM is the one that's doing the thinning.
Yeah.
The tribe will not be doing thinning.
Okay. I was just wondering that. And yeah, thank you, sir. for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you. Okay. Further in the room, and then we'll get to online.
Are we in public comments, or are we still talking on that agenda?
The agenda item.
Oh.
Online, do we have anyone?
No.
Oh, weird. So I'll talk on some of mine real quick. Other concerns I've heard, that sort of thing. It's been noted this will obviously produce timber that could create jobs. I was communicating with the South Coast Development Council yesterday, ensuring that they are able to collaborate with mills to coordinate with them to ensure they're able to tool up for larger trees. These are larger trees than I believe they're larger trees than are generally provided in our area. A lot of mills have gotten used to smaller trees. Sorry, can you not hear me, Phil? Okay. So we have community partners in the economic development side that will ensure that capacity is there. We do already know there's a mill in Roseburg that can take the timber being cut. And it's worth noting as well, because these trees are so old, they are higher value timber than most of what comes out right now. Let's see. Now, understanding that, there has been community opposition to an agreement of this type over time. Absolutely, there has. We honor that input. We also have an obligation to ensure the county does not stagnate. We have to weigh these two things against each other, in my opinion. I've heard history on this road dating back 40 plus years, longer than I've been alive. Sometimes I hear I'm young. I'll remind folks I was mistaken for my daughter's grandpa over the weekend. I'm not that young anymore. Input 10 years ago, and I have to think when these things get opposed, there is also a promise that something will be accomplished, that there is a plan to pursue getting something done with that land. That part of any agreement in the past has continued to fail. I am not committed to stagnation. I did not say that's what I'm going to run on. I was very clear when I ran that this is part of my plan because we have to actually do something. Additionally, I've often heard the county needs to run more like a business. This is a way of increasing the general fund by doing business that does not increase anyone's taxes, but it does enable us to provide more services to the citizens. And just one more thing I'll note. I guess I'll note two things. One, the Coquell's timber management plan. I had several meetings with the Coquell before I took office. Since that point, I haven't been the point of contact with them. But prior to taking office, one of the critiques I heard from them is that the way BLM manages land is not representative of the way nature itself manages land. There are not clearings in the way the BLM does it. They intend to create clearings. And as I was understanding it, it would be fairly significantly productive still for them if they went with an 80-year rotation. That is a hell of a long rotation in the timber world these days. And it sustains an older forest while actually producing something. And then the last note, one of the concerns I've heard from different members of the public is that if the tribe gets any control over something, it becomes impossible to fight them if they want to do something. I'll note that that is not accurate. And we've seen that within the last decade. Now, I don't believe we would have a problem with the Coquell tribe based on my past experience with them. When a past tribe attempted to take control of the shorelines of the waterways within a 20 square mile radius within Coos County, including the city of Coos Bay, John was a commissioner. I was on city council in Coos Bay. Our entities opposed that tribe in the attempt to take control of those waterways, and the Coquel tribe stepped up and supported that effort to ensure more local control, that it did not exist within the hands of one entity. So not only did the Coquel tribe support us in ensuring public access, we were all collectively successful. So it is not accurate to say that there is no recourse if a tribe pursues something. So if we have no
I
further,
have something else to add,
Yes.
and that is about where this timber would end up. That's going to be determined by the market and who pays the most for it. And some of it will likely go east towards Roseburg. The lands lie between here and Roseburg. Some are very close to Roseburg, some are relatively close to us. Granted, our biggest, highest producing sawmill is a small log mill, and this timber, which would be harvested on an extended rotation of up to 80 years, would be too large for that particular mill. But it's not too large for the veneer plant and plywood plant here at that Roseburg Forest Products has.
Really?
It's not too big for Oregon Overseas in Bandon, and I don't think it's too big for, that's a sawmill, and I don't think it's too big for East Fork Lumber Company between Coquille and Myrtle Point. So there are
nice.
certainly a lot of it will be logged by local loggers, and I am reasonably sure that some of it will be milled or peeled by local mills. And in the case of Oregon Overseas, familiar with that company and the ownership. And the one thing that's keeping them from going to a two-shift operation is lack of the large old growth premium, or not necessarily old growth, premium type log, a log that out of which you can make timbers and 2x12s, not just 2x4s and 2x6s. The industrial forests are all harvested on a shorter rotation, developing smaller logs that don't fit the needs of, say, Oregon Overseas in Bandon, or even East Fork. So I think a lot of this material, some of this material at least, will be milled here, manufactured here locally.
I didn't know those ones could tell you. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do.
Neat.
They kind of operate quietly under the radar screen.
I'd just like to chime in on the revenue aspect of this proposal, that, you know, we have struggled as a county for a long time fiscally, and it's been years upon years upon years of financial struggle because expenses, county costs do not, or they outpace available revenues. And there have been a number of, well, there have been 3 attempts really to appropriate some kind of a public safety levy, some kind of an additional revenue bump on the tax side to facilitate continuation of county operations. And there's been absolutely no shortage of outcry against those efforts. Even when in the last iteration, I came on board and said, look, this is what we really need, is a 5-year plug in this hole to figure out what we're going to do and establish some kind of revenue solution to this problem. And, you know, and it went down 60%. Obviously, the people of Coos County don't want property taxes increased. They don't want to kick into those costs. Fine. Okay. We've got to do something. We've got to do something, or this county's going to die. I honestly don't know what the public expects. How are we supposed to fix this? I hear over and over again, and it frankly starting to piss me off. Well, just cut all the waste. Well, what waste? Okay, I invite people. Excuse me, sir, you're out of order. If you want to speak, you can raise your hand. Now I forgot where I was. The reality is that we cannot sustain county operations without adequate revenue. And, I know what I was going to say. The waste accusation, government largesse. I've issued, I don't know how many invitations to people. Please come into my office, give me a call, set up an appointment. We'll sit down, we'll go through the budget, and you can show me where the waste is. Because we sat here for a whole week, 2 weeks, doing the budget, and there's like 3 members of the public that showed up, and not one person identified one piece of waste that I recall. It's not there. It's not there. And so, we got to do something. We cannot continue this track of diminishing resources and increasing obligations. Here at the county level, we have all of the accountability and none of the autonomy. Well, here's something that we found that we can actually do to possibly increase some revenues. And, there are some people that don't like it. I'm sorry, Phil, but the reality is that we've got to do something. That's it. That's all I got.
No, just because it tends to come across party lines when some of this discussion comes up, not exclusively, obviously, but some individuals, when I took office last year, the projection from the Association of Counties was that over 60% of counties were facing insolvency within the next 5 years. That was across urban, non-urban, rural. That was across population sizes, leadership types. There's one in Metro that's looking at it. There are several in rural Oregon, eastern Oregon that are looking at it. There is no population size, category of county, political affiliation that is not facing this issue across Oregon somewhere. It is a broad one. You had a question? I'm sorry, Mike again. Public record thing, you got to be at the mic.
Dwayne Wisman, logged for 20 years.
Thank you.
Medical injury, can't go back out in the woods. I've tried to get my unemployment, but they won't answer me back. They just took my food stamps, so I've been going around town cleaning up stuff. If I can do that, so can everybody that they book in relation goes down on there and they spend all this money trying to do nothing. Take away their peanut butter jelly sandwich, give them an axe and a shovel, and maybe some of them gentlemen up there like sunlight.
Okay.
I don't know how much it costs to run a crew like that, but I know back when I was a kid, they used to do it for Laverne parks, county parks, stuff like that.
That probably branches into public comment.
Most of
We're
those
gonna get
parks-
there a little farther.
Huh?
We'll get
of
into public
parks-
comment in a little bit. You'll have another 3 minutes if you
Didn't
want.
I just stand up?
But
Is this
just-
public record?
We're going through piece by piece.
Okay, so.
Sean?
I can speak to that. State law prohibits us from doing that. We now have to pay those people, inmate workers, minimum wage at least. So that is the struggle with what you're proposing, is that we have to pay those people that amount and we can't afford it.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna-
go to law, I go to jail, and I get minimum wage, but I can't get a job in Cookville because.
Well, I'm saying that's why we don't have a work crew.
We're going to redirect back onto timber real quick. We'll come back to this, though, for you. Okay, did we have any more comment on the timber aspect, the coke well?
Did everybody get just 2 minutes? We can't talk anymore. I'll talk for 4 minutes. About another 2 minutes.
We were doing the standard 2 minutes for the thing.
I'm satisfied. I'm pleased to add time. This is an
Okay.
important issue, and I think
I am as well.
we owe it
All right.
for the people to have their say, and then for us to respond. If we normally don't do that, but this is important enough. We need to be having a conversation.
Okay,
And
if
to
we've
be
got
fair,
agreement.
that gentleman did get 2 shots
did.
at the mic, so.
Okay,
I think
you're up.
so.
I'm gonna
Shake
make
it out, Phil. Shake
Make
it
you
out.
sit closer to it.
Get my needle in with that first. Phil Thompson, Coos Bay. We go back to this tribal deal. Now, you say you can trust them to do anything you want to. I remember Mr. Hatfield, against the other people's wishes, he himself, if I remember what happened right, he awarded the Crow Hill tribe 5,900 acres over here off a bridge and stuff over in there to be self-sufficient. Okay? Well, I know now they also got their own tribal land. They got some good timber that belongs to them down around John's country down there. So, anyway, as far as them logging that and sharing the revenue with us, 9/10 of the law has always applied. The person in possession is going to win.
Yep.
So you're saying we're going to let them just like a lease, more or less. They're going to manage it, and then when we get ready, we say we want our land back. You think you're going to get it back?
Now, bear in mind, it is in the possession of the federal government now. It will still be in the
Yes,
possession
it
of the
is,
federal
but-
government.
Excuse me for interrupting you, but that's true. But once we relinquish our right to who gets the money, then it's a different story.
We don't have that right now.
Well, we pretty well are in line to manage it and log it if they change the rules back the way they used to be. And the reason it got out of hand, you had these big timber companies exporting all of their timber and cutting the BLM timber and stuff. So we had a lot of crooked stuff always. My point is that every person in the United States owns that land. We don't own it, and the tribe, which is actually Melissa explained this to me, they're not really a nation within a nation, but they are pretty well. And anything that they might agree to in Congress is subject to be kicked out too. They got the money. They were supposed to have one casino. They got two casinos now.
Yep.
You just go ahead and look at everything that's going on right now. I think we're getting into a big problem where we're going to have another nation is going to be dictating you guys what to do rather than the people. That's 67,000 people in Coos County. They've gave you an order already. They're what they wanted to do is now becoming, without a hearing, I haven't heard nobody give us a hearing and stuff. I think before you do anything, the people should get to weigh in. And I'm going to call Miss Hoyle when I get back and tell her I thank her for lying too. Bye. That's my opinion. I think she lied to me.
Understood. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just got a question. I can ask it from there.
Yeah, if you could.
Under this legislation, would the export of raw logs abroad be allowed?
No. It would be restricted in the same way.
Okay.
Is
just
federal
wanted-
timber still?
I
federal land?
wasn't sure, just wanted to ask that.
Yep.
Good point.
Sir?
Megan, tell your neighbors there to quiet down. Or get out on the street.
Eldon Rollins, Coquille.
Hi.
Hi, Eldon.
Let me collect my thoughts. If you're going to get on somebody's case for being verbally abusive, maybe you should avoid it yourself.
What is that talking about?
If you're going to limit the time people talk up here, maybe you should put a time limit on commissioner comments. And if you can't find waste in the Coos County government, I'd appreciate it if you would tell me who's in charge of finding waste in the Coos County government if it isn't you and you and you. And I'm done. Thank you.
I can't pass that up.
Yep.
I can tell you that we've eliminated a lot of waste. We have merged departments under one department head after another. We have taken other steps. We have found non-tax revenue. Pardon me? Yeah, we used to have 2 attorneys and 2 assistants. We have 1 attorney doing all the work of the attorney's office. I don't know how he gets it done. We've worked hard. We've continued to cut. In the last 2 years, I think we've cut about 20 employees. I don't know where else to cut other than horrible things like eliminating patrol completely. And money doesn't grow on trees. Our county tax rate is less than 1/3 of what the average county tax rate in the state is. Less than 1/3. And I'll also tell you that it's almost 1/3 lower than it was 10 years ago. So, if you're going to accuse us of being inefficient, better come show me what you're talking about, not just talking generalities, and let everyone else think that you know more than we know.
Any further? Don, you've been too quiet.
I have too much to say.
Fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
think he could have more than 2 minutes. You should. Don probably knows more about the Wagon Road lands than any other person in this county.
I'd agree.
And I think it would be inappropriate, unless he just doesn't want to talk, which I suspect that would be very rare. He should have his say today.
Sir?
Can't force you to do that. And
3 minutes?
no, we've let other people talk longer.
I stopped running the timer. Unless you try and filibuster us, then we'll deal with it.
We got to be out here by lunch, though, Don.
I'm Don Gurney from Middle Creek, Oregon, which is next to BLM and the tribe. To start with, I understand the county's problem financially. I would not be negative against something unless I thought I had an alternative. And I really feel I do. The Crispy Wagon Road started off in a situation quite different than we can realize now, and I'm going to roughly add to you why. The 1937 Act of the ONC came in place, and they left the Crispy Wagon Road out because they were a little different situation by taking the land back because of lack of abiding by the law. So in 1939, they brought a new law in to set up people to find out the value of what the county wants. The assessment committee is really all it was. In 1939, I was here, and most of you were not, but I was quite small. When the county realized what the ONC lands was going on a percentage of harvest, they decided they want payment in lieu of tax. Now, what we all forget about is in 1939, the timbered lands and private owned was owned by private people, and it was taxed. In 1939, timber values were very little. Tax values was a lot. So they asked for having taxes in lieu of the amount of value cut. As this time went along, in 1976, for example, the timber was not taxed anymore. ONC, when it was harvesting, was taxed, was very bad because they didn't harvest anything. So now that threw right there, everything kind of went to pot in 1976. Okay? The other thing happened in 1976, the payment in lieu of taxes, the severance tax system came into effect. What happens in severance tax, if you don't harvest anything, you don't get any money. That's what killed ONC so bad. Well, our assessment was on value of land, and they took the land off private, and so we got only the same as private property owners have, and the private property owners didn't pay taxes on timber. So that went down. The other thing happened in that act, roughly, it got to about the 1990s when they quit cutting timber and they went back to the safety net. They took the value out of the safety net of the amount of harvest that was had in the years from 1985 to 1990. And at that time, there was very little harvest. And our safety net was terrible. And it's been that way ever since. Now, I'm going to be trying to be nice about this. This has been the county's problem. It wasn't the government's problem, anyone else. The county did not come forward and, for example, to accept severance tax instead of taking tax on the timber itself. They took this severance tax and it ruined it. But no one did anything about it. I specifically went to Washington, D.C., and I've talked to these people about how come we are in the situation to go into that. That's what you want. I said, that's not what we want. I think we should have severance off of it, the same as the ONC Act. And the question about that is, I, as you probably know, are trying to find out what's the difference between the tribe and BLM financially. So I have a couple questions. In the fund that was set up in 1919 when it was transferred, there's a fund set up on a 10-year thing. There's $15 million in that fund. If you accept it from the tribe, what happens to the $15 million?
Not familiar.
Yeah, I mean, the legislation that's been proposed doesn't change anything about the Coos Bay Wagon Road Act, the fund, so the money will stay in the fund, and it rolls over into the U.S. Treasury every 10 years, so that will continue
So
to
basically
happen.
we lost it.
We'll receive payments, as far as I understand, we'll continue to receive payments in lieu of taxes until the money is
Yeah.
rolled into the Treasury.
We will continue to get the same that we are getting, which is payment in lieu of taxes.
Okay.
And whatever balance is left over after paying us and Douglas County, the payments in lieu of taxes, at the end of the every decade reverts to the U.S. Treasury. That will still happen.
To 2010, $14 million was transferred to the federal treasury because we didn't tax it. That pretty simple?
No, it's not. We have to do our taxes the way the state law provides. The state law used to provide that you would have had an ad valorem tax that was paid annually on the value of the timber you owned, whether or not you harvested it.
Yeah.
Over time, a severance tax was substituted for that. This was done at the state level, not at the county level. And the state law providing for a severance tax says that there shall be no ad valorem tax charged on standing timber. We can't do it, Don. It wasn't a decision the county made. It was a decision the state made on our behalf, and it was bad for us.
Oh, okay, I almost got two more short things and then I'll leave it alone, okay? My feeling about it is that the Coos Bay Wagon Road land should be paid percentage of harvest. Never mind all of the, I would completely get rid of the 1939 Act, totally, just get rid of it. Because it's not going to do you any good. You're going to go fall back exactly what Commissioner Sweet was talking about. But if the Coos Bay Wagon Road itself, I've asked for 5-year advanced management. How much are you going to harvest in the Coos Bay Wagon Road? And I was supposed to get a reply from the head forester. I'd like to know what they're going to harvest in their plan already. I need to know that, or we should know that. The second part of it is, what are you going to do about private people living amongst this land now? I like to be represented by my government, not by the tribe, but my government. And I don't want to lose my government, okay? I worked too hard to keep it already. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
I think I've asked that question specifically, and the answer I received is that existing arrangements with private citizens will be honored.
Correct.
I understand wanting it to be different. I have to believe those have been discussed over the last few years, last few decades. It has accomplished nothing. We have to actually do something. Is my
Specifically,
position.
Congress has to do something to change
Okay,
anything
yeah.
about Coos Bay
We can
Wagon
be
Road
supportive.
lands. And
Congress has to do something.
And it is difficult
Yeah.
for a local government in Coos County, Oregon, to enact change in Congress. And so in this instance, there is a
We have to
presidential
attempt to do
agenda that
something.
supports this sort of proposal, and there is support in Congress that we wouldn't find if we tried to bring it on our own. What does a congressperson in Oklahoma care about Coos County, Oregon, right?
That's true.
But if it's part of a broader executive agenda, there is support.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it.
It's fair. I know I don't care about Oklahoma. All right. Any further? Has anybody online developed? Really? Wow. Did we want to move to a vote? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes.
I have a late item not on the agenda.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, move to hear the late agenda item.
John?
Oh, second that, excuse me.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Carry on.
So on April 22nd, the county received a demand letter from Kindred LLC threatening legal action if the county does not sell back an individual's tax foreclosed property to the business. The county's position is that we must comply with the state's new tax foreclosure process under House Bill 2089. It is advisable to seek a validation or a declaratory judgment decision in circuit court to confirm that our understanding is correct. So I'm asking the board to authorize county council to file a validation or declaratory judgment action in circuit court against Kindred LLC.
I move we authorize county council to file a validation and/or a declaratory judgment action in circuit court against Kindred LLC.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. For my purposes and the purposes of the public, is Kindred LLC the company that's going after counties for following state law instead of going after the state?
Yeah, this is all fallout from the Hennepin County decision that the Supreme Court reached in 2023 regarding surplus proceeds from tax foreclosure sales. It implicated the state of Oregon's tax foreclosure scheme, which we administer, no choice of our own. It's state requirement that we do it in a certain way, and so this is one of the ways that counties are getting sued or threatened.
I just wanted to
Yeah.
show another example of where the state passes its legal liabilities on to counties.
All the accountability, none of the autonomy.
Yep. Public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Move approval of the consent calendar.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Covered late agenda items, commissioner reports. I'll go left to right this time. Rod?
Not too much worthy of commentary this week. The one thing that was really kind of a bright spot in the last couple weeks was a meeting with the newly formed Friends of the Coos County Fair, and really excited and pleased to see the formation of this nonprofit entity to effectuate the application of grant funds, application for grant funds for the benefit and improvement of the county fairgrounds. And at the behest and prompting of Commissioner Sweet, sometime in the past, Gary Haga and his cast of characters has put this together, and it's going to be a really positive, beneficial thing for the county fairgrounds. Another note: I was last evening went out for a motorcycle ride with my wife, and we decided to ride out to Myrtle Point and went through and looked at the pergola, which now has all of its roof sheathing on, the car decking on top, and so the framing is absolutely complete out there, and it really is awesome. It looks really nice. So congratulations to everybody who played a role in making that happen. And now we look forward to getting some metal on that roof.
Nice.
I also noted that the fair volunteers have been doing a tremendous amount of work around the event stage, which doesn't have an amphitheater yet, but they have been building a retaining wall out in front of the stage, which last year was just a gravel berm. Now it's going to be a structured landscape block wall there, and it really is phenomenal. I can't believe how much work those guys put in. It always amazes me. So kudos and thanks to the Fair Board and volunteers and everybody that's out there putting in all that time. And let's see. I think that is about all I have.
John?
I think I've talked enough, but I would, Rod talked about the new pavilion at the fair. It's gorgeous. It's made out of timbers that were manufactured here locally and donated to the fair and to the county by East Fork Lumber Company. And the building is gorgeous. It'll be a great addition to the fairgrounds. Our fair board volunteers are keeping the grounds up like a park and made significant changes there. And we tend to dwell on problems, but you look around and we have a lot to be thankful for. Our fairgrounds is one. Look at solid waste. They put aside money until they could build a $2.5 million cover over the waste pit that's required by law without impacting our general fund. Parks is up and running. We have one of the few parks systems in the state, if not in the country, that is self-supporting. They're doing a good job. Our county departments we had to cut people. They didn't bat an eye. They just went right around about their business, fulfilling their requirements, doing a good job. I'm very proud of the county and of the staff and the department heads, and even the commissioners, and especially county council. Anyway, thank you all for being here. I know that this Wagon Road Act situation is not terribly popular amongst some people, but I don't, as Rod suggested, we're at the end of our rope and trying to figure out how to fund this county. And this is an opportunity, I think, that's highly beneficial to us and to the citizens of the county. So please bear with us. That's it.
Alrighty, I'll keep mine short. Lakeside is organizing a group around cleaning up some of the U.S. Forest Service land. U.S. Forest Service has finally given them authorization. They've been trying for 5 years at least to get U.S. Forest Service to do something, or at least let them do something. And that's finally come through, that they're going to let them do something and not do anything themselves for their land. Foreclosures, I get calls periodically about land the county has foreclosed on. When is it going to go up for sale? When's it going to get cleaned up? We have clarity from the legislature now. Last week, I believe it was, we signed the contracts with one realtor for North County, one realtor for South County. So those properties are going to start getting addressed and sold that have been sitting on the foreclosure list in a holding pattern because lack of clarity around what the disposition of the funds would be if the property sold previously. And then spent the weekend with the Patton Project up in Florence. It's not really in my wheelhouse for video, but it is a project that gets veterans together to learn about doing videos and coordinates with you to make individual videos and uses that medium to get veterans to talk about their experiences in the service. Some good, a lot of discussion of things that were bad. Kind of opens people up, gets them more accepting of the idea of reaching out to their fellow veterans or services. So there were 4 videos produced. We were split into 4 groups. We made 4 videos, and those are going to be presented at the Egyptian Theater June 4th from 6 to 7 is the time frame I currently have. So you'll see me against my will forced to be on camera. And yep, several other veterans will be there who participated in the project. A lot of things talked about. I think a lot of people are going to get more help because of it. I'll cut mine off there. We've got public comments. John had signed up, so looks like he did know that was at the end of the meeting, but I think he's left. We have Phil, if you want to take another 3. Get you one of those electric ones, rig it up with a lawnmower engine.
Well, we get a high lead.
Oh.
Just lift her right across the.
Well, you can just bring a mic over to me.
Where's Kayla when we need her? Kyla.
Anyway, I'm not anti-logging. In fact, I think we ought to log, always have. My thing is a lot of it is if the people decided, and I sort of still stand by them on it. But John, I'd like to say that I think you've been very instrumental in keeping this county afloat. I'd never take that away from you. And what Drew and Rod's put in, I'm sure helped get us through right now too. But yes, I've been here a lot longer than you too. I was here before you got here. So anyway, I want to say I'm not against tribal members. I got my grandkids belong to the tribes, so I go back a long way. As far as my grandfather that I know is Indian, and so I have nothing against the Indians. I think we all are Americans, and I don't think we should put one segment of us out there getting the other part paying for them. I know the tribes think that they really got beat during when they lost their little wars with the whites, but I didn't fight them, and I like them, to tell you the truth. I have to. I love my grandkids too. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say. I'm not against logging or nothing like that, but I am against, I think it should be, what I've said, I think anybody that runs for this job, they should have a debate rather than a forum. And I think some of the questions should be asked. If you bring something before the people and they vote on it, I don't think you should ever take it away from them unless they give you that right or vote against it. You know, I really feel that way. Catch you guys later.
Thanks, Phil.
Thanks, Phil.
And then we had a David Jennings. David? Okay. Do we have anybody else that didn't sign up? Scott?
Hey, Scott, how are you? Good to see you.
We dragged you away from the kids.
You did for a little while because I told you I had to come and I would report on that money that
yeah.
you gave me. So it was a good time. We are about half spent out on it with $142,550 left and 89 cents. The majority of it is gone for hotels for homeless youth and families, some admin cost, which I hate to see a large admin cost. I want to see almost all the money go direct to the support. The Bologna Ranch has contractors out there right now. I'm actually going to be going next to the planning department. And that is it. I do wanted to open up a can of worms.
Yes.
Functional zero. Has anybody heard this terminology?
Functional zero?
I did once.
Yeah. You want
have
to
not.
explain it, Drew?
Functional zero, I believe it's when you account for extenuating circumstances, but it's in the scope of youth and families. It's when everyone that qualifies for shelter has shelter. So functional zero is not everybody's housed, but it is everybody within the scope of what you're allowed to do is housed.
So as you know, there's a new group of people in the housing that are working together on something called Spark. I'm putting out there that not just my agency, but multiple agencies collaborating are starting to have this conversation regarding can we get to a functional zero when it comes to youth and families. Not everybody. There's way too many out there to say that we can do everybody, but at least try to pick off a goal in an area where we can get to. There are some questions on what the rules and regulations look like that. Obviously for youth, if you're using at the moment, that kind of disqualifies you immediately. If there's domestic violence in the house, that would disqualify you. Making functional zero, just saying that anybody that wants to and is willing to, we will make sure that we get a roof over their head and start supporting them in one way or another. So I was just throwing that at you to plant a seed on where we can go. There is one other county right now in the state that is claiming functional zero.
Yamhill has achieved it before. I don't know if they currently are claiming it.
No, that's what I'm up to right now. Just figured I'd kind of fill you in what we've been doing with your money.
One of the 36 has achieved it at any point.
So that's any
While
questions?
you're still there, no questions. Just thank you. You are a champion for getting the unhoused and the youth housed and the youth given job opportunities and job training. You're on top of that. Yeah, we're so fortunate to have you.
It's because of people like you that put ideas in my head and makes me believe I can do these
You don't need any more
things.
ideas from any of us. You got plenty yourself.
Better ideas in your head than voices in your head, Scott.
Yeah, too many ideas. It drowns out the voices. I don't hear them anymore.
Can do two things at once.
What year did they achieve that? Yamhill County?
Functional zero was
Yeah.
last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Missed it.
I thought I could take
Oh.
credit for it.
Yeah.
No
Phone
roll,
used to be in
counselor.
Yamhill.
Well, you helped set up the framework.
See, there you go.
Does that Lincoln green thing mean anything up there?
I think that's us.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Off the pillar?
You get it?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Further? I'm just going to look at you. You're the last one left in the room, I think.
Got anything, Dino?
Les Eldon.
What's
Not
going on in
today.
Bandon? Good.
Anybody online?
Nope.
Still no. Wow. Alrighty. Well, I believe if that's it, I'll adjourn the meeting. Where'd my hammer go? Meeting adjourned.
Thanks, everyone.
Letters. Yeah.
Okay.
Where'd it go?
We got, there's another letter, gentlemen.